Why, in your experience, are so many Christians so fearful when it comes to sharing their faith?
Well, we'll touch on fear in a minute, but I want to just talk for a moment as to why evangelism isn't prioritized in the pulpits. Because a pastor will reproduce after his own kind. If he's a prophecy buff, well, the whole congregation will be into prophecy. From New Zealand, we don't have the big population that we have in the US, especially California. So when I came over here, I was always awestruck, and still am, on how when there's an ambulance or any emergency vehicle comes along the street, all the cars by law have to pull over to let them pass. Why? Because someone's life could be at stake. Well, evangelism is an emergency vehicle, and everything within the church should pull over to let it through, to let it have its way, because people's lives are at stake. And that's what's been missing in modern evangelism. So let's talk about the subject of fear for a minute. I get fear all the time. I'm always battling fear. There are a few things that help me bring my fears into perspective. If I've traveled by plane, 2,000 flights, so I've sat next to a lot of strangers on planes. And when I've sat on a seat and the seat next to me has been empty, I always pray for the person who's going to come and sit there. And this is the prayer that I pray. Oh God, don't let them show up. Evangelism in that context used to scare me until I understood this principle. Every single human being has a will to live. Everybody thinks about the afterlife. Atheists, non-atheists. In fact, the Bible says in Hebrews 2 that they are subject to the fear of death, haunted by it all their lifetime. And so when I say to someone, do you think there's an afterlife? It interests them immediately. Almost everyone says, no, or yeah, or whatever. They think about it. And that's the question that's brought Goliath down to Zacchaeus when it comes to fear. And so I just turn to this guy that I've met 5 minutes ago and just say, hey, Eric, do you think there's an afterlife? I haven't mentioned God, Jesus, heaven, hell, the Bible, sin, righteousness, and judgment, the things that make them and me feel uncomfortable. I've just asked for his opinion, appealed to his ego. Do you think there's an afterlife? And that is what's helped me more than anything else, plus the fact that I know this person's got a will to live. This is our high-quality, genuine wood treasure chest, and it's packed with 300 metallic, these are not plastic, 10 Commandment coins, with the 10 Commandments on one side and the Gospel on the other side. The wooden treasure chest is available at livingwaters.com. The Bible is filled with wonderful wisdom, and if you want a good study Bible, we have the Evidence Study Bible, which is packed with over 200 questions commonly asked by non-Christians and much more. You can get this at livingwaters.com or wherever good books are sold.